Spillskaperen David Cage har for lengst etablert seg som en forkjempe for spill litt utenfor alfavei. Han står bak både Fahrenheit og Heavy Rain, og her på E3 er hans neste spill Beyond blant de store snakkisene. Beyond fikk faktisk æren av å innlede den store pressekonferansen til Sony, og konseptuelt er det ingen tvil om at han nok en gang forsøker å gå nye veier.
Well, Beyond is the story of this young girl who was gifted. Her name is Joni Holmes, and she has a link with an invisible entity. So it's a presence around her, and as far as you can remember, this presence has always been here. So the game takes place through 15 years of the life of Joni Holmes, and we will see how she grows, how she changes, how she evolves through time, how she learns to live with this thing floating all the time around her. But it's also a game about death, about separation, about mourning, about what's on the other side, about what lies beyond, of course.
It seems almost like you had Ellen Page in your mind when you made this game. Is that true?
Absolutely, I had Ellen in mind since pretty much the first page of the script. So I really wrote this about this character who was a young girl. I wanted someone who would be young, fragile and vulnerable, but at the same time someone who would have some kind of strength inside that you can feel. And this corresponded very well to the image I had of Ellen Page.
Okay, and tell me about the gameplay. It seems like it's kind of evolved from Heavy Rain.
It has evolved a lot from Heavy Rain. We build on what worked on Heavy Rain, try to go further and improve every single area of the game. But here the big change compared to Heavy Rain is that you can switch pretty much at any time between Jodi and this entity. And with the entity you can do pretty much everything an entity can do, floating around, being invisible, going through walls and interacting with people and matter in a very, very special way.
It also almost seemed like she didn't have complete control of this entity, that she didn't...
She absolutely doesn't have any control over the entity. The entity is really a separate character with its own personality, and it's not like a pet or someone who obeys to order. It's really like a character with its own personality, and it can be very nice and very protective, or it can become really possessive or very jealous, sometimes even very violent.
When you look around at E3, you see a lot of very similar games. It seems like it's very important to you to make something that stands out as something unique.
Well, there are so many people doing the same games. I mean, I don't feel like I need to add one more. But this is not. I don't try to be different. I just do the games I believe in, and with passion and enthusiasm and sincerity. So I'm glad that other people seem to enjoy what I'm doing. But there is really no marketing afterthoughts or whatever. I'm just here by passion because I believe in what we're doing.
And it also seems that you're targeting a more mature audience than many other gamers.
Definitely, being myself older, I'm 43 next Saturday actually. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So it's a funny discussion because you realize that you don't like the same music than when you were 15, you don't watch the same movies, you don't read the same books, but regarding games, it's like, oh, it doesn't work with games. You should play the same games, whether you're 15 or 20 or 30 or 40, which is not the case. So we try to create games for a more mature audience, people expecting something else from video games than just adrenaline and stress and tension and frustration. And these games are great and there's an audience for them, but we just try to create something for a more mature audience and people expecting something deeper or something different at least.
What do you get inspiration from?
The more I write and the more I take inspiration from my own life and my experience and the thing that I feel closely related to in a way or another. And this idea about death, I had someone dying in my family, someone I was really close to, and I really wanted to find a different explanation than the one given by religions in a way or another. So I pretty much made up my own story about what's on the other side.
Okay, and are there any specific trends in the gaming industry today that you're particularly excited about?
I'm very interested about what's going on right now, all these people trying to reinvent games. I feel really close to a developer like that game company, for example, the guys doing Journey. I think they're doing an amazing job. I feel really close also to any indie developer trying something new, trying to innovate, trying to take risks, and being crazy about what they're doing. And I have probably much more respect for these people than for other people just doing, the same game every year. So it can be a present for Christmas, but that's just me.
Do you think that'll be more important in the years to come, just creators trying to do their own thing?
I wish creators could take control of the industry, of course. I would love that. It would make the industry much more exciting and much more interesting and maybe even more profitable, because I think that people are interested in creators and creativity and new ideas.